Hey YouTube, hope everyone is having a really good Monday. Long time no see. I kind of just wanted to hop on here real quick and let you guys know there's a lot going on in my life right now, and I'm so sorry. Let me put it to you this way. It's not so much me, it's my kids. So if it was just me, I would still be hopping on here and I'd still just be, talking to you guys about some of the things that I've learned and stuff like that. But I'll probably have to make a separate video on that. I actually wanted to just more or less hop on here and say I'm sorry that I've been so MIA. My oldest daughter mentally is going through some stuff. And I think I've kind of told you guys my daughter has Tourette's, OCD, anxiety, depression disorder. Her anxiety and OCD are the biggest part of it, but because of the OCD and anxiety being so bad, it makes her tics, as they call it, act out worse. So I've just been, for so long, I never knew what my purpose was, and I think I did a video, or at least discussed it. I truly do believe that my purpose here on life is my kids. We all should, have that kind of as a purpose as well, like lead them to Christ, blah, blah, blah. But literally, I honestly, besides getting people to Christ, I honestly feel like that is my biggest purpose in life. I was just meant to do that. But anywho, so I pride myself in making sure that she has my full undivided attention, and so do my other two, because Satan is really out here. Like, he is really getting my kids. And he knows that's the way to me, is through my kids. So, any of you moms and dads out there know what I mean. Like, you just, when it starts affecting your kids, like, it really gets to you. But I was on my way home, and I have been meaning to do a video for a little bit, but then this coronavirus kind of came out, and I'm kind of one of those that I kind of tried to make light of a situation that is not so light. It's obviously very scary. It's very what is the word? It's the real deal. I mean, it's a real thing that's happening, and people's lives are definitely at stake and stuff. But I personally will just sometimes, make silly little jokes here and there, and that offends people apparently. But anywho, sometimes I don't really realize what I'm doing. But anywho, I just had mentioned, the doctor, I took my mom to the doctor, and so the nurse was asking her about, okay, do you have this and this and this, do you have wheezing, do you have coughing, and I said, oh, they're checking you for that coronavirus. Okay. And then later I had mentioned to, I think some other person, I told her, I'm sorry that I look like death, I have that coronavirus. I'm just joking, okay? Obviously it's a severe situation, whatever, but the point to that is that because it is such a severe situation, I basically, now, look, it may be nothing, but I had done a video, I believe, about, it was a hospital dream. I was wearing scrubs, and long story short, I was wearing scrubs. I had this basic understanding that I was a nurse in my hometown, and so I had went in. There was a bang load of people in the ER. We were trying really hard to get everybody, seen and whatnot, and all of a sudden I remember seeing a hazmat suit. Obviously there's things in between there, but they're not as important as these basic points that I'm making. But there was these dudes with some hazmat suits, and he was like, you got to put these on, and we didn't know what was going on, so we just did it, because obviously we're not gonna obviously they know why they're doing it and whatnot. But my kids were at school, so it was during the day. And I remember I went to a back room where there's some more patient rooms. And across the hall was a patient room, and then there was like a little nook, I guess, or a cubby hole or something. And it had like kind of like a desk all the way around like the nook. And there was computers set on there, and there was a nurse underneath one of the tables or under the desks. And she was scared and she was crying. And I remember I turned around and I looked across the hall at that room, and the patient was bleeding out, like from their eyes, their nose, and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I felt like I needed to go get my kids. I had this understanding in my heart, like I needed to go. And there was a huge earthquake, and then I woke up. So at any rate, I say that to say, sometimes when God will give you a message or a dream or a vision or whatever, sometimes those things either A, they don't come to pass at all, and it may not have, it may have just been something else. B, we may never know in this lifetime what it meant, but it was a message. Or C, sometimes those messages don't happen right away. They can take years. This was like a couple of years ago that I had this particular dream. So when I found out about the coronavirus, and I just found out about this, by the way, literally like 2 days ago, I believe. This road is so retarded. I'm sorry that y'all have to hear this. Like, they don't care if we ruin our cars. I'm telling you, it just frustrates me. Oh, Lord. So anyway, this was a couple years ago that I had that dream, and I just kind of like, when I learned about the coronavirus and stuff like that, I kept thinking, okay, well, I'm going to dig some deep, like more into it. And I'm kind of a researcher. I've told y'all this before. So I don't know a lot yet. I'm just now researching quite a bit. But from what I understand, as of right now, I have not heard or seen or whatever, read any articles stating like you bleed out your eyes and ears and nose and stuff like that. That does not mean that it can't happen, only because like you just never know, like if it evolves in this time. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. I'm just saying, but as of right now, I don't believe that there's anything like that. I think it's basically like, the upper respiratory, pneumonia type issue. And it's fatal. It can be fatal. So anywho, and then it started to kind of just dawn on me that, obviously this is pestilence. Like we've got, all that. And then China doesn't really like us too much. And so I thought, well, that's like discipline and stuff like that. But then I also started thinking, and my mom kind of just mentioned about how in the Bible it talks about, oh, you guys all are going to probably have to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm so sorry. But I believe it says something to the effect of a third. Oh, I cannot remember. Oh, that frustrates me. Of course I'll remember like as soon as I get off of here. Like almost instantly it'll probably happen. But I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep, so my brain doesn't want to function like a normal human being. But so I say all of that also to add, things were already ramping up anyway. But let's go ahead and just add all this to it, because it seems like in the past, heck, I'll even go lowball. It almost seems like even in just the past month, okay? Like, yes, things are always happening, but hot dog, man, it is like really ramping up. And we, watchers say this all the time. We're always like, he's near, he's right at the door, blah, blah, blah. But it's really ramping up, you guys. Like, it is getting really, really insane. Really crazy. And so, I know I've just decided I'm going to have to accept that I'm a very random person. Because I get on here and I want to apologize. I'm so random. I'm so sorry. I just ramble. I pray for all of those people that have been affected with the coronavirus. It doesn't take very long for you to present symptoms. And I'm not saying all of this to fearmonger or scare anyone, But the simple truth of it is that, although there's not a lot of cases in the U.S. right this moment, we don't know what's to come. We are living in the end days, so you just never know what's going to happen. So because of that, stay on guard. What do I mean by stay on guard? Okay, well, number one, live in the present. Number two, enjoy your time with your family and loved ones, but also constantly be in the Word. Constantly, have yourself armed, pretty much. Use that Bible as your weapon against all of Satan's evil, wicked, dumb schemes that he thinks that he thinks he has one on us. You have to tell yourself, you have to have enough confidence to not only tell yourself, but to tell, others, and just you've got to stand up. You've got to stand up and fight, because I 100% understand it is hard. Okay, it is hard out here. We're all getting weak. We're all getting weary. We are all struggling. We are all tired. It dawned on me on the way home today. I could be totally wrong. But it really did dawn on me today that I have not been sleeping. And when I say not sleeping, I'm talking I'll go to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I have to wake up at 7. And then I don't get to nap because, well, I'm a mom and I work and, stuff like that. Or I have stuff to do for my mom, or I have stuff to do for myself, and blah, blah, blah. And so, it dawned on me on the way home, and I thought, I bet you, how am I supposed to have dreams and visions if God wants to give me any? How am I supposed to have that if I'm not sleeping? How am I going to get those? I'm not, right? Because I'm not asleep. So, visions can kind of just happen, which I don't really get those very often anyway. Obviously, if God really wants to give me something, he'll find a way. But I'm just saying, he's out here working. And I think the last several videos that I've done, that's basically what I've talked about, is how Satan is out here working a storm. But Chelsea Bedell actually said it best. He's scrambling. Yeah, he's scrambling. He knows that his time is way shorter than it was just a few weeks ago. He knows that his time is about to come to an end. And he keeps probably telling himself that he can win this and, no, blah, blah, blah. I've got so many people, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you right here and right now, I have an attitude problem, and I don't like authority anyway. So if he thinks he has me, he is definitely wrong. He might have certain aspects of me or whatever, but and I have anyway, I'm going off on a rabbit trail, but pray for those people that are lost, that still have a veil over their head. Pray for China. Pray for at this point, you might as well get on your hands and knees and just pray for every single person, just every single person, because we are all battling something, and we are all going what feels like hell. Obviously we don't know. Obviously it's not, because hell's worse, but it feels that way to our flesh and to our bones. And no, you're going to focus. Thank you. So you got to stay prayed up. And I'm not just saying this to you guys. I'm saying it to myself. I am, because I'm there. I'm there too. I'm struggling. And when my kids are struggling, you're struggling, because a part of you is being yanked, because not only are you battling your own stuff, but you're trying to pick up their cross because they're your babies. So, some of you know, I have an almost 13-year-old. I have barely started planning. Oh, it's so bad. Anyway, lack of sleep. There we go. And then I have an almost 11 and an almost 9-year-old. And, when they are weak, you are their parent. You're to pick up, just like with Jesus. God does that for us. He tries to help us in our time of need, as we do our children. So, I've just been so MIA, so lost, and I would love you guys if you guys could pray for us and stuff like that as well, as I do for everyone. Like I said, I just do it for everyone at this point because there's just so many people. I mean, I would be praying. I wouldn't be sleeping. Like, I would just be praying all day, every day. Like, I literally would not have time for anything because everybody is battling and struggling. So, the coronavirus is a real deal. I don't know what's to come of it. I don't know how things are going to act in the next several days. I don't know how they're going to be in a month. I don't know how they're going to be, you know, in just like a few hours, like whatever. But stay prayed up. Keep in the news and the word, the good news, the actual news, like not like Fox or whatever. Like, stay tuned in for, you know, a lot of the people that I've already mentioned in previous videos and stuff like that. And if I hear of anything or whatever, I'll even try to put it on, even if it's just like 2 or 3 minutes, to keep you guys up to date. But, you know, from what I understand, as of yesterday, there were 2 cases in the U.S., 2 or 3, and now it's 5. How many of that is true, I don't know. I really don't. But it's just a very scary situation. And when it gets close to home, that's when it starts to become a really big deal because we think it's all fake until it gets to you, right? Until it affects one of your family members, and it doesn't take much. It's transmitted human to human. It doesn't mean that you have to be making out with them or something. Like, it's just you're near them and you end up possibly getting it. So be sure to constantly wash your hands. You know, be on the lookout for your kids. Kids go to school. Kids pick their noses. They don't wash their hands. I'm just being real with y'all. Y'all know. Y'all are like, she's saying everything that I wish I could say. No. So yeah, just be very, very aware, of what's happening and stuff like that. At any rate, thank you guys for listening to me ramble. Thank you guys for those of you who have been praying. And I love you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And just remember what I said, you know, just stay in the present. Be with your babies. You can always make more money. You can always make more money. It's not the best, or I know that you have to pay your bills, but at some point you have to decide, is that taking over my life, and stuff. So anyway, thank you guys again for listening to me ramble. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.